What's up, guys? Y'all read my title. Y'all know what kind of video this is about to be. And of course, I'm gonna get straight into this video. Let me talk about my miscarriage experience, y'all. I'm about to talk about that. It don't matter how long, how far back it been, or how recent it been, but I'm just gonna talk about it because a lot of people is not aware of a lot of symptoms and signs and stuff. And I'll tell y'all a little about mine, and we're gonna just get into this video right now. My experience was I was only like 6 weeks. I was 6 weeks pregnant, and I been like having symptoms at first, and then all of a sudden they been like disappearing. I was thinking like I start feeling better because sometimes certain time in your pregnancy, sometimes you start feeling better, but when you start feeling those symptoms like fading away, is different for everybody. Every person and everybody is different. Y'all, this hair is already getting on my nerves. Every person and everybody is different, so to each his own. Like, I can't say my experience will be somebody else's experience, but I'm speaking on my own experience. My symptoms start slowly for surely passing away, and I wasn't like aware of those signs. I wasn't paying like a lot of attention to it. I'm just thinking like, oh, maybe my baby's doing fine and I'm doing good, and maybe I'm just starting to feel better, just like it was with my other children, feeling good, and pregnancy easy and, sweet, all that good stuff. I'm doing everything, my daily routine, doing everything I'm supposed to do, not doing too much of everything. Not too much of everything is everything. But if y'all know what I mean, still doing the daily. So I'm going by my day. I'm not as hungry as I used to be. I'm not as moody as I used to be. So I'm like, I'm 6 weeks. Like, I thought it's supposed to progress, and I thought it's supposed to get a little worse, and it's not getting better. Like, not having aversions, food aversions, not being sensitive to smells, not feeling how I was feeling when I first found out. Like, that was another sign, but I wasn't paying attention to it. Another one was I kept feeling something deep in my guts, like my stomach did grow, but I don't feel the flutters like I used to feel, like those little light flutters. I was having like cramps, like when the weeks and weeks going by, every time a week changed, I had like cramps, but then I stopped having cramps. So I'm like, is this normal, or is it just me just getting better? That's what I kept saying. I'm feeling good, feeling good, and don't know what the heck was going on. At the end of the day, I start losing the cramps. The cramp was not coming. So I was like, okay, I'm losing craving. I'm not moody as I was, and not as emotional as I was, and I don't feel the flutters and don't know what's going on now. So my thing was like, I start spotting. So, sometimes they say women have implantation bleeding, like when you have that spot that look like a period and you're not sure if that's a period or whatever, but it don't be as heavy as a natural normal flow. That's what I thought I was dealing with. So I'm like, okay, I'm spotting, but I'm not having a cramps at the same time. So I wasn't thinking about an ectopic pregnancy or a miscarriage. I was not thinking about that because that didn't cross my mind. So I'm like, okay, so I'm spotting. It started off, TMI, y'all, it started off brown, no red streaks at all, no pink, no nothing, but it started off like a tan type brown. Y'all know what I mean? A tan type brown. It started off like that. Then as the day go by and the next day go by, it started progressing to be a darker brown. It was more noticeable than the light brown. So I was like, okay, so maybe this is what it is, like that first, period like thing that they have, the implantation. I'm thinking that's what it was. Come to find out, it started getting heavy. It started getting heavy by the day, by the day, by the day, by the day. So I'm like, okay, something just don't sit right on me. So I went to the ER to like get my levels and stuff checked. From my levels, they told me it was at what it was. It was at 7,769. That was the first time I went, and they was like, they don't hear a heartbeat. They said maybe because it's too early, sometimes we don't find like the flickering or the heartbeat on the vaginal ultrasound. They did both. They did the one from the abdominal, then they did the vaginal one. The one they go up. Y'all women know what that is. They go up, and then that's how they can see stuff when it's early. So they was like, we just gonna say it's a threatened miscarriage, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna miscarriage or whatever, because right now it's early and we don't see the heartbeat. We don't hear the heartbeat. We don't see it. Like either way, on the stomach or the vaginal one, we don't see it. So we're gonna make you come back in like 2 days. And they was asking like, are you bleeding heavy? Are you craving? Do you feel like any symptom has fade away? You don't have those? I was like, yeah, I kind of feel like that, but still doing my daily due. Still doing everything like it was normal, and I'm feeling fine. I'm not lightheaded. I'm not feeling like anything abnormal going on. So I'm just going on my day, doing my daily, smiling, moving around, still doing Instacart, still doing DoorDash, still doing everything. Come to find out, I had to go back to the hospital the next day. I went back because I was like, the bleeding is getting worse. So when I started seeing clots and stuff, I said, this is not normal now. So my eyes got this big, and I was like, this is not normal for me or for nobody. Like, I see and hear y'all stories on Google. Google will have you feeling like you're about to die and having you thinking everything else and making you think it's something else. But you got to go get this stuff checked yourself. So I end up like, I'm bleeding heavy. I'm not flooding up a pad. I'm not changing a pad like frequently like that, but it's heavier than what it was. I don't think that's normal. So I go back. I tell them like, listen, I know something ain't right now. I'm heavy. Are you cramping? No, I'm not cramping, but I'm heavy. And it's a little darker than what it was before. It got some streaks of red in it. And then they was like, are you passing tissues or clots? I said, no, I'm not. I said, I feel like something just isn't right. So they did the same thing, digging back up there. Digging. When I say digging, I felt that time. They was like, well, it's still the same, but your HCG level went up from 7,769. It went up to 9,577. So they was like, okay, it's good. It's good because the levels are rising. That's what we're looking for. But we still don't hear a heartbeat. So I'm like, the heartbeat thing kind of got me because I never did like an early ultrasound ever in my life. I was always 12 weeks and more. So I did not know how that early stage of checking for the baby heartbeat was. I was new to this. So I'm like, okay, I wasn't familiar with what I was supposed to expect. So I was like, okay, no heartbeat still. So I start to worry and stress a little bit. My appetite fade all the way completely away, where I didn't have not a bit of appetite at this point. Like, listen, my baby don't have a heartbeat. I already got all my positive tests. Everything was there. So I'm like, but they seen the baby. They told me they see the fetus. They did, but just no heartbeat. It wasn't an ectopic pregnancy because it was in the right part of my body where it's supposed to be, because an ectopic means it's on somewhere on the outside of something or growing somewhere else where it's not supposed to grow. So I was happy that I didn't have to go through a surgery to remove anything, because when you have an ectopic, you have to, because it will rupture and you will go through a lot of other pain. But I wasn't dealing with no pain whatsoever. When I say no pain, I wasn't dealing with none of that. So I was like, how come I'm frightened of a miscarriage, but I'm not having no pain? I just don't have the craving and stuff no more. I'm not eating like I used to. So that was a sign. It was a sign. So you have to pay attention to your body, women. If you feel like something isn't right, I don't care how many times they look at you like, why the heck you keep coming back for the same thing? You're early. They don't really want to deal with you when you under 20 weeks at a doctor office, your OB, clinics, anything. They feel like you're early and anything can happen between that time. But I feel like any stage in your pregnancy, you can still deal with a miscarriage or any issue. I seen people and heard stories about people having a miscarriage at 7 and 8 months. It doesn't matter. I don't think that's fair. So advocate yourself, guys. When you feel like something isn't right, don't sit back and listen at these doctors telling you something isn't right or this and that, or you're fine, keep sending you home. So I end up going back a third time. The third time, guys, let me tell y'all this before I end out this video. The third time, I was bleeding extremely heavy. I was trying to do my daily dues and I was flooded. When I tell you my pad was loaded, I start breaking clots. And I literally miscarried on my bathroom floor. I woke my man up and said, listen, this is the baby right here. I'm holding it because I picked it up. It's in this little jelly thing. It's a clear looking thing, and you can see the eyes on the side of the face, the fingers, the toes. You can see all that development. It wasn't fully developed, but you could still see that it was a baby trying to form. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Now I'm start sweating. Now my heart beating fast. So I know my pressure has rise. I already know, because I'm literally seeing my baby and felt it came out of me. And then after that, clots after clots after clots after clot. Then I immediately started cramping so bad. I'm like, oh my God. I say, you know what? I don't want to deal with no hospital right now. Them taking blood, none of that. I just want to go to sleep. I cleaned myself up, showered, and then I went straight to sleep. I was like, Lord, just protect me as I sleep. Let no harm, no danger happen to me while I'm sleeping. The next day, I said, I'm not doing nothing else, but I'm gonna take my behind to the ER. So when I went, y'all. When I went to the hospital, they tell me, okay, we got to take blood again. We got to do an ultrasound again. This and that. You can't eat. You can't drink. We got to make sure you okay. So I'm like, okay. So I'm following their protocol. I'm following everything they got going on. So I'm sitting in the waiting room, waiting on them to call me back and give me a room. So they had the lady come down with the wheelchair. She was like, I'm coming to take you to ultrasound to see what's going on. So I see her eyes looking like this at the screen, but she tried to like straighten it up a little bit because she see I'm looking at her, because she got the screen faced towards her where she can only see what's going on. I already know I passed the baby and this and that. Just tell me I'm okay, that everything is fine. That's all I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear all that negativity stuff. I didn't want to hear nothing. And I'm gonna show y'all the pad that I had to use during my healing process. It was one of these big ones, women. Y'all know those big overnight ones, because they're more comfortable, because you know nothing is not about to happen, leaking out or whatever. I feel so comfortable wearing these things. And yeah, I stay by them anyways when my regular period come on, because I just want to be comfortable. All them small, short, number 1, number 2 pads, I don't be on that, because I just want to make sure I'm secure. But guys, yeah, stay in tune with your body. If your body's sending you signs, symptoms, and like something wrong, something is definitely wrong. Don't sit there and ignore your body. Your body is telling you. That's how I know something was wrong. I'm like, I'm not craving no more. Not as thirsty as I used to be. It was a little signs, because I really didn't have no full course symptom right away, because I was only 6 weeks. I know they say you start feeling stuff 8 weeks and more. I just know I had positive pregnancy tests. Like, it started from the faintest line and then it progressed to being dark. Like, soon as I pee and dip it or put the little droplets in it and drop it in the little test thing, them lines was coming up like that. I didn't have to like go like this to act like I couldn't see. I didn't have to put it to a light. I didn't have to do nothing. Them lines was coming up. So I'm like, what went wrong? Sometimes we think it's something we have done. No, sometimes it be the development of the child, and God knows what's best. He don't want you to bring that child in the world and you have to deal with some abnormalities or whatever. It could have been anything. You can have some underlying infection in your body. It could be stress, imbalance, your imbalancy. It could be diabetes. It could be your pressure. It can be anything. It could be anything. Your weight. You could be underweight, overweight. It could be multiple things that causes a miscarriage, but don't even try to stress to dig to find out what was the reason why you had a miscarriage. It's not even necessary to do that. You just move forward and just find something differently, and just make sure your lifestyle is healthy as it was before. And sometimes it could be just you, like you're stressing and not happy. Your environment, when you carry a human inside of you, you have to be happy. You have to be stress free. Like, it could be drugs, it could be smoking, it could be anything. But like I said, don't try to stress and dig and find out. We don't know. It's always a reason behind it, but it's no real reason, no real evidence why people have miscarriages. It just happened. It happens to a lot of women. That doesn't mean that you did something wrong. So don't feel guilty. Don't let nobody make you feel guilty like they are better than you because they carried a baby. Yes, it's very emotional after you have a miscarriage and you see other women going all full term, their stomach, their bellies, everything just forming, and you lost. So that doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you did anything wrong. You just have to cope with it and, heal from it. You got to heal. I'm not saying it's going to be easy overnight, because who knows how long it takes each individual to heal from a miscarriage. But yeah, guys, through it all, just smile and be grateful and happy that you are still here and you still able to bear a child. You still able to do that. So let that rainbow blessing come through when it's time. Take your time in healing. This is why I don't hide anything. This is why I wait. I'm not saying if you wait to tell somebody you're pregnant, it's gonna help the pregnancy, but I just don't want to deal with all that negativity. I don't want to deal with all this, this and all that. I don't want to hear all that. We all grow. We make our own decision. I don't live off people's opinions, so that doesn't matter to me. But the thing is, I want to be stress-free. If anything happened, it's happening because it meant to happen. Either way it goes, it's still meant to happen. But I don't want all that other negative crap people got to say, because people have so much to say when it's you, but when it's them, they don't have nothing to say. Their life is a secret, okay? But anyways, let me finish this before I end out. After I left the ultrasound room, they pushed me back in the room. They said, we're going to tell you your blood level and everything. So the nurse came back in after an hour and, some change. She was like, well, you did have a miscarriage. Your levels dropped from 9,500 and whatever the numbers was. We compared the numbers, you down to 2,000. So she was like, you did pass all your tissue. You passed a lot of stuff. You may have some blood clots here and there. You're going to be cramping a lot. We need you to bed rest for at least 5 days because you're bleeding a lot and we don't want you to hemorrhage or whatever. We don't want no other extra bleeding than what you're having now. We've seen everything has removed itself. Your body gonna heal. You don't do no DNC or no DC, whatever we call it. You don't have to do that. You're good. Your body is doing what it's supposed to do. Rest. She said some days you might find yourself emotional. Some days you might be crying and being moody and have mood swings. She said that is absolutely normal. She was like, good thing it is, you're totally healthy. A lot of your blood or everything we test you on came back normal. You're good. So if you want to try again, go ahead. Go for it after your first period. She said we recommend that most of the time after your first period. If you want to try, go ahead. She said you're good to go. She was like, good thing you can still have more kids or whatever. She was a great, nurse. She tried to support me the best way she can. She couldn't put out too much sympathy, but she did the best she can, and I feel a little bit better. But I was cramping. I was just ready to go home and lay down, be on my bed rest, and that's that, y'all. When y'all feel like y'all don't have the symptom y'all used to have or what you should have in your pregnancy, please go get it checked. Don't prolong it. Don't wait forever like how I did, thinking everything is fine, walking around doing my daily works and stuff and just being me, and then don't know what's going on with your body. You stay in tune with your body. You have to stay in tune so you can be aware of what's going on when something go wrong. I'm just telling my experience. I don't want nobody to feel like, oh, your experience might be mine. None of that. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but miscarriage is not a joke. It have you feeling some type of way. You be so emotional. You be going through it. You need somebody to support you. And all that extra drama and whatever everybody else got on is not your concern. Try to stay healthy, eat, drink, still stay hydrated, and forget the rest. See, I tell everybody, do what's best for you, but don't sit there and sit back if you feel like something is wrong. Please go get that check. And if you guys like these kind of videos, let me know what kind of video you want to see next. Please comment in the comment section. Tell me your experience if you ever had a miscarriage, any type of miscarriage throughout your life. Let me know how your experience was. And guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.